Hello, Joshua from PitchHarder.com. Today I want to talk about a topic that is always being brought up, um, whether I'm teaching Major League Baseball players, colleges, universities, players, high school prospects, or international, wherever I go, the same question seems to arise. And this is even with guys who are making $30 to $40 million, $100 million contracts. They're there, but they truly sometimes do not realize how to train or what to properly do in order to keep up their performance or actually better themselves. So one of the main issues that we come in contact with consistently is workouts for pitchers. What's the best method? What should we be doing consistently in order to better our game, to decrease injury but increase performance? And one of the most talked about things that I like to tell the people is that when talking about this specific issue, what most instructors do, most trainers, even programs at the highest level down to Little League, where they fail at, and this is why 90% of the programs fail, is because they implement a one-size-fits-all strategy. And you can't do that. You have to do something that's more customized. Now, it takes a lot more time and it takes a lot more in-depth knowledge on the science, the biomechanics, the biokinesiology. You have to have a basis of understanding within this field in order to implement the right training structure, because baseball is very, it's like a double-edged sword. You have to be careful on which, how you balance your training, balance everything, because if you fall to one side of training doctor or fall to the other side, you completely destroy your chances of making it. This being one of the reasons why hardly any ever play college or even go past college, is because I think the misinformation that circulates around the baseball world today. So for instance, like I said, what's the best training method? When you institute a one-size-fits-all method, you may have 5 to 10 players that actually gaining from it, and 5 to 10% is not a successful number. So when people come to me in one-on-one training, whether it be in camps or whatever it may be, the way I do things are completely different, and I institute more of a customized training routine. This is why I have tremendous amounts of gain of velocity in my pitchers, is because I don't just give them a one-size-fits-all method. I actually customize the routine based on the individual, and that's where you see the biggest results. I can customize it based on the strengths and weaknesses and create around the athlete what their specific needs are in order to take them to the next level. One of my sayings is, pitchers are like a fingerprint. We're all similar, but we're all completely unique. So in saying that, what that means is I cannot take player A and give him the same workout as player B when they're completely two different people, completely two different strengths, completely two different weaknesses. So basically I have to find out from analyzing, find out from assessments, and then go from there and create a structured routine. So this is a tricky question. What's the best method? I cannot specifically name this is the best method, because it's only a piece of the pie. You can name any single thing you want to, and I guarantee it's part of the pie, but it's not the whole pie, and that's where most people fail. They get stuck on one piece, and they wonder why they don't have gains. Number 2, is heavyweight training the end-all, tell-all with pitching training? Absolutely not. And anyone that tells you that, they completely have no clue what they're talking about. I don't care who they are. It could be Nolan Ryan, it could be Randy Johnson. You name anybody out there who's considered one of the greats. If they end up telling you that this is the best way to train a pitcher, they're completely wrong. Now, they may have the notoriety and they may have people know of them, but that doesn't necessarily mean they know what they're talking about. So in this sense, like I said, it's a piece of the pie. It's not the whole pie. What happens is I know a lot of big, strong college athletes who can deadlift 500 pounds, squat massive amounts of weight. I mean, these guys can pick up tree trunks like it's nothing, but they can't hit 85 on the mound. So is strength training the end all tell all? Absolutely not, because that same athlete who's like I said, deadlifting 500 pounds, throwing 85, compared to some of my other athletes I have who are 16 years old throwing 93 to 97. These guys aren't that big, they can barely bench their body weight, yet they're putting in major league numbers beyond the average major league player, yet their body is 16 years old, 17 years old. How is that possible when the college athlete is completely bigger and stronger? So this should give you an idea that just regular strength training is not the end-all tell-all when it comes to performance training. It's a piece of the pie, but you have to know when to implement it and so forth. So that should open your eyes a lot to the different methods that I implement at Pitch Harder that will just basically just skyrocket your performance. When you have the right training methods and you implement them at the right times, knowing when to do it on a scientific basis, the results are phenomenal. I've had players, one of my guys that come to mind played in college, that hasn't played for a couple years. He comes to me and says he wants to go to a pro tryout, and I'm thinking in my head he's shooting his guns a little bit too early because it's 2 weeks away. He hasn't thrown in a long time. He went and threw at a pitching mound, got clocked out at 86 miles an hour. Not bad considering he hadn't thrown in forever, but it may take a little time in 2 weeks to go to a draft camp. So I implemented just 20 minutes worth of training to him to specifically target his weaknesses, and gave him a customized routine for him to implement during those 2 weeks. Well, he told me he was going to go to the tryout, and I said, have a good time and tell me what happens. He ends up going to the baseball professional tryout, tops out at 92 miles an hour, signs his first professional contract. So went from 86 to 92 in 2 weeks. And that's absurd in most people's eyes because they can't get 2 or 3 miles an hour in a year. But with me, the way I do it, I have a patented, actually I think it's the only patented baseball training formula in the world, where I've protected it because the way I implement certain things is completely different than anybody else on the market, and the results are astounding. Okay, so number 3 brings us to the question, what should you do? After I've explained to you that these methods aren't the only ones that you need to implement, and that if you just completely stick to it, you're going to be screwed, what should you do? All right, contact me, info@pitchharder.com, go to my website, and see what I offer. I offer a pitching analysis service, okay? Offer keys to unlocking your potential. It's a DVD with the workouts. It's a book that explains the science, the myths, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. It's the foundation of the whole program. So the two were created together to function as one. With the pitching analysis, this is one of the best services I have because this is where we determine your strengths and weaknesses. And I know most of you have heard of analysis, you've probably had them done before, totally different. When I analyze someone, I do it in such depth that I can look at body alignment, skeletal structure, everything, angles, you name it. I know what needs to be created within the pitching motion in order to get a 90+ mile per hour fastball. I'm also able to say, okay, well, you're lacking here, you don't have enough mobility here, so forth. I can create a routine based around what I see in the video, give it to you, you implement it, and then you'll see tremendous results within a couple weeks. So that's one of the best services I offer in that aspect. Just getting a pitching analysis done by someone who's not up to date on biokinesiology is not going to work for you. It's a waste of time. I've done pitching analysis for top level, college athletes, dads who are chiropractors, who are, biomechanical scientists. And when I did this, they were so blown away that I was able to give this type of dissection through just 10 seconds of video. They wanted to know how in the world I was able to know all this stuff. But yet, these guys are the doctors. These guys are the best people in the world when it comes to this stuff. So this is what I'm telling you. If you need more velocity on your fastball, you need more power, you need the right routine, you need the right workout, come to Pitch Harder and I'll help you get to the next level.